The altimeter needle climbs through 12,000 feet. Too slow. The engine is laboring, the propeller clawing at thin air. And below, 5 German fighters are circling like sharks that smell blood. They are not rookies. They are Jagdflieger, aces, men with 20, 30, 40 kills painted beneath their cockpits. They see the lone American P-51 Mustang struggling upward, engine note uneven, climb rate pathetic. They see easy prey. What they do not see is the trap. What happens in the next 90 seconds will be dissected in Luftwaffe debriefs for months, whispered about in officers' clubs, and eventually buried in classified files no one wants to explain. If you want more true stories of impossible moments from World War II, subscribe to the channel. The date is October 7th, 1944. The location is the airspace 20 miles west of Kassel, deep inside German-held territory. The mission is a high-altitude fighter sweep ahead of a bomber stream targeting industrial centers in central Germany. It is the kind of mission where survival is measured in decisions made in fractions of seconds, where one mistake means a long fall and a telegram to a family back home. The 8th Air Force has been grinding through the Luftwaffe for months, but the Germans still have teeth, veteran pilots, fast aircraft, home field advantage. The pilot in the struggling Mustang is First Lieutenant Michael Anthony Russo, age 24, from South Boston. Before the war, he worked in his father's construction company, carrying lumber, mixing concrete, learning patience in a trade where rushing gets people killed. He has dark hair, a crooked nose from a childhood fight, and hands that are calloused even inside flight gloves. The other pilots in the 357th Fighter Group call him Slow Mike. It is not a compliment. Russo is slow at everything. Slow to scramble, slow to form up, slow in the climb. During training stateside, instructors yelled at him, "Russo, you fly like you are carrying bricks." He did not argue. He just kept flying his way. Steady, methodical, deliberate, in a fighter squadron full of hotshots who want a dogfight at every opportunity. Russo is the exception. He does not chase. He does not showboat. He climbs slow, turns slow, thinks fast. His wingman once asked him why he never hurries. Russo shrugged. "My old man taught me something. You rush a foundation, the whole building falls. Same with flying. You rush, you die. But you are too slow, Mike. You will never get kills flying like that." Russo smiled. "I am not trying to get kills. I am trying to not get killed." 3 months into his combat tour, Russo has 2 confirmed kills. Both came from patient setups. Both came from angles no one else saw. But 2 kills does not impress anyone. In a squadron with aces who have 10, 12, 15 victories, Russo is just another replacement pilot, average, unremarkable, too slow to make a difference. Then came the mission on October 7th. The fighter sweep launches at 0730 hours. 16 P-51 Mustangs from the 357th, flying in loose finger 4 formations, engines humming, wingtips catching the early sunlight. Russo is flying tail-end Charlie in the second flight, the worst position, the spot reserved for rookies and pilots no one trusts in the lead. He does not complain. He checks his gauges, adjusts his oxygen flow, and settles in for the long flight into Germany. At 0840 hours, they cross into enemy airspace near the Dutch-German border. The radio chatter drops to essential calls only. I skim the sky. At this altitude, the horizon curves. Contrails are visible for miles. Every speck is a potential threat. At 0912 hours, the call comes. Bandits. Low. 8 o'clock. Russo looks down and left. 6 dark shapes, low against the patchy clouds, moving fast. Focke-Wulf 190s. The lead element of Mustangs peels off to engage. Russo's flight is ordered to maintain altitude and cover. He acknowledges. His gloved hand rests lightly on the stick. The engagement below is brutal and fast. Mustangs and Focke-Wulfs twist and turn, contrails spiraling, tracer fire stitching across the sky. A 190 explodes in a fireball. A Mustang breaks away trailing smoke. The radio is chaos. 2 on your 6. Braking left. Where did he go? Russo watches from above, steady, patient, scanning sectors. Then his flight leader's voice cuts through. "Russo, we got a problem. 5 bandits climbing up from the deck, heading our way. 109s, fast movers." Russo looks down. 5 Messerschmitt Bf 109s, climbing hard in a tight echelon, already through 8,000 feet and accelerating. These are not the same as the 190s below. These are different, cleaner, faster. The markings are sharper. These are not regular Luftwaffe. These are Jagdgeschwader veterans, probably from JG-27 or JG-53, units known for their experienced pilots. The flight leader makes a decision. We're going down to meet them. Russo, you stay high and cover. It is the standard call. Keep one aircraft high as top cover in case more bandits arrive. Russo acknowledges. Wilco, the other 3 Mustangs in his flight roll inverted and dive. Full throttle, going down to engage the climbing 109s. Russo stays level, alone, at 22,000 feet. He watches the dive. He watches the 109s. He sees something the others do not. The 109s do not commit to the fight. They see the 3 Mustangs diving on them. They see the speed, the aggression, the angle, and they do something unexpected. They level off at 15,000 feet. They spread out. They wait. It is a feint. The 109s are not trying to climb through. They are trying to bait the Mustangs into a low-altitude turning fight where the 109's superior maneuverability gives them the edge. Russo sees it. He keys the radio. "Lead, they are baiting you. Do not go low." The response is clipped. "Russo, stay on station." The 3 Mustangs press the attack. They dive past 18,000 feet, 15,000, 12,000. The 109 scatter, each one breaking a different direction, forcing the Mustangs to split up, to chase, to lose mutual support. It is textbook tactics. Divide and conquer. And it works. Within 30 seconds, the engagement is spread across 5 miles of sky. 3 separate dogfights, no one supporting anyone. Russo is still alone at 22,000 feet. He scans the sky. Then he sees them. 5 more aircraft. High. Very high. 28,000 feet, maybe 30. They are tiny specks, contrails barely visible, but they are there. More 109s. The real threat. The ones who waited. The ones who let their wingmen bait the Americans low. And now they are diving, fast, targeting the scattered Mustangs below, who are too busy chasing the first group to see death coming from above. Russo keys the radio. "All flights, this is Russo. 5 bandits high, coming down on you from the north. Angels 28. No response. The radio is jammed with combat chatter. No one hears him, or no one listens. He is alone. 5 enemy fighters diving from above. 3 friendlies engage below, unaware. If he dives to warn them, he loses altitude and speed. If he stays, the 109s will shred his squadron. Russo does not dive. He starts to climb. He advances the throttle smoothly, pulls back on the stick, and points the nose up. The Mustang begins to climb, but not fast, not hard. He does not firewall it. He does not push the engine to war emergency power. He climbs at 85% throttle, steady, controlled, slow. The lead 109 breaks off from the dive, then a second, then a third, fourth, fifth. All 5. They cannot resist. A lone American, separated, climbing slow, defenseless. They turn toward him, noses dropping, speed building. Russo sees them commit. He does not change his climb. He holds the angle. 85% throttle. 15 degrees nose up. Airspeed dropping slowly. He is bait now. And they are hooked. The 109s close fast. They are in trail formation, staggered. The leader out front, the others following in sequence. Classic attack formation for a single target. They expect Russo to see them and panic. They expect him to dive, to run, to make a mistake. Russo does not panic. He glances at his altimeter, 24,000 feet. He glances at his airspeed, 210 miles per hour and dropping. He glances at the mirror mounted on his canopy frame. The lead 109 is 1,200 yards back, closing, nose pointed right at him. Russo's hand moves to a switch on his left console. The water methanol injection system. War emergency power. 50 extra horsepower for a few minutes. Enough to turn the Mustang from fast to ferocious. He does not flip the switch yet. Not yet. The 109s are at 1,000 yards. 900. 800. The leader opens fire. Cannon rounds arc through the air, falling short, but not by much. Russo holds his climb. Steady. Slow. 700 yards. Russo flips the switch. The engine roars. The Mustang surges forward and up. The nose pitches higher. The airspeed jumps. 210 becomes 230, 250, 270. The climb rate doubles. The Mustang claws upward like it was kicked from behind. The lead 109 pilot sees the change. He tries to adjust, pulling his nose higher, adding throttle. But he is already committed. His speed is forward. His angle is shallow. Russo is now climbing at nearly 4,000 feet per minute, straight up, accelerating. The 109 cannot follow that climb. Not from his current energy state. He tries. His nose comes up. His speed bleeds. His wings start to shudder. He is approaching a stall. He has two choices: stall and die, or level out and reset. He levels out. So do the other four. All 5 109s break off the attack, leveling at 25,000 feet, trying to regroup, trying to understand what just happened. They had him. He was slow. He was dead. Russo is now at 27,000 feet, still climbing, still accelerating. He rolls inverted at the top of his climb, pulls through, and comes down on them like a hammer. He picks the trailing 109. The gun sight reticle settles on the wings. He fires. 650 caliber machine guns converge. The 109's left wing shears off. The fighter tumbles, spinning, gone. The other 4 109 scatter. Russo does not chase. He rolls level, scans, breathes. His wingman's voice crackles through the radio. "Russo, where the hell did you go?" Russo keys the mic. "I went up." "You what?" "I climbed." Silence. "Then you climbed?" "They were diving on you." "I know." "And you climbed?" Slowly. The remaining 4 109s are no longer hunting. They are surviving. The psychological shift is instant. One moment they were predators closing on easy prey. The next, they are scattered, one of their own spinning toward the earth, and the slow American is now above them with speed and position. In aerial combat, altitude is life. Energy is everything. Russo has both. He does not gloat. He does not celebrate. He scans his mirrors, checks his fuel, repositions. The 4 109s are forming 2,000 feet below, but they are defensive now, watching him, waiting to see what he will do. Russo does not give them time to think. He rolls into a split S, inverted, pulling through, diving now with gravity and to full throttle. The Mustang accelerates past 300 miles per hour, 350, 400. He is a missile. The 109s see him coming. 2 brake left, 2 brake right. Russo follows the left pair. The lead 109 in that pair is good. Very good. He reverses hard, tighter than Russo expected, trying to force an overshoot. Russo does not take the bait. He pulls up early, extends, climbs again. The 109 tries to follow, but his energy is spent. He cannot sustain the climb. Russo loops over the top, comes back down, finds the second 109 trying to run. Running does not work. Not against a Mustang with altitude and speed. Russo closes to 400 yards, 300, 200. The 109 jinks left, right desperate. Russo leads the turn, fires. Tracers walk up the fuselage. The canopy shatters. Smoke pours from the engine. The 109 rolls over and dives away, trailing fire. 2 down. The other 2 109s are gone, diving east, full throttle, running for home. Russo does not pursue. His fuel is lower than he would like. His ammunition is half gone. He has no wingman. Deep in enemy territory, alone. Chasing is how you die. He levels out, throttles back, and starts a slow turn west. His heart rate is steady. His breathing is controlled. The sky around him is empty now, just high clouds and contrails fading in the wind. His radio crackles. "Russo, this is lead. What is your position?" Russo checks his compass, his landmarks. Angels 23, 15 miles west of Castle, heading 270. Copy. We are reforming at Angels 15. Same heading. Join on us. Wilco. Russo descends, eases back on the throttle, and finds his flight 10 minutes later. 3 Mustangs, all intact, all low on fuel. They form up in loose formation and head for home. No one speaks on the radio. There's nothing to say yet. The debrief will come later. The flight back is long and quiet. They cross back into Allied airspace near the Belgian border at 1,047 hours. The tension eases. Pilots check their gauges, calculate fuel margins, think about hot coffee and solid ground. Russo flies on the wing, steady as always, watching the horizon. They land at RAF Leiston just after 1,100 hours. The runway is busy. Mustangs and Thunderbolts coming and going. Ground crews working. Fuel trucks moving between hardstands. Russo touches down smooth, taxis to his revetment, and shuts down the engine. The sudden silence is startling. He sits for a moment, hands resting on his thighs, breathing the still air inside the cockpit. The crew chief climbs up on the wing. "How did she run, Lieutenant?" "Good. Used the water injection." The crew chief nods. "I will check the engine." He pauses, looks at the gun ports. "You fire." "Yes." "How much?" "Maybe 300 rounds." The crew chief grins. "That is efficient. Most guys come back empty." Russo climbs out, drops to the ground, pulls off his gloves. His legs are stiff. He walks toward the debriefing hut, where the intelligence officer is already setting up. Other pilots are arriving, lighting cigarettes, talking, gesturing. Russo enters quietly, takes a seat near the back. The intelligence officer starts with the standard questions. Flight path, enemy contact, engagement results. When it is Russo's turn, he keeps it factual. Engaged 5 109s at 22,000 feet. They dove on me from above. I climbed slowly to bait them into committing. Used war emergency power to outclimb them at the critical moment. Destroyed 2. The others disengaged. The intelligence officer looks up from his notes. "You climbed while they were diving on you?" "Yes, sir." "Why?" "They expected me to dive. If I dove, they had me. If I climbed fast, they would not commit. If I climbed slow, they would think I was an easy target. They committed. Once they committed, I had them." The flight leader, Captain Denton, leans forward. He is 30 years old, a veteran with 9 kills, a man who does not suffer fools. "Russo," he says slowly, "you used yourself as bait." "Yes, sir." "Without asking, without coordinating." "There was no time, sir. The radio was jammed. You were engaged below. I made a decision." Denton stares at him. "It was reckless." Russo meets his eyes. "It worked." The room is silent. Another pilot, Lieutenant Garcia, speaks up. "Mike, those were not regular pilots. Those were expertin, aces. You saw the markings." "I saw them." "And you still climbed slow, especially because they were aces." Russo leans forward. Experienced pilots are confident. They trust their instincts. They see a slow target. They commit. If I had been fast, they would have been cautious. Slow made them aggressive. Aggression made them predictable. Garcia shakes his head. "That is some cold math, Mike." Russo shrugs. "It is just construction. You lay the foundation. You bait the trap, you wait. They come to you." Captain Denton stands, walks to the map on the wall. He traces the engagement area with his finger. "The 5 bandits that bounced you. Those were the ones that would have shredded us if they had completed their dive. You drew them off." "Yes, sir. Probably saved 3 aircraft." "Maybe." Denton turns, looks at Russo. "You are still too slow, Russo. But maybe that is not a bad thing." The debrief ends. Pilots file out into the afternoon light. Some head to the mess, others to their bunks. Russo walks alone toward the operations hut, where mission boards list the next day's assignments. As he walks, Lieutenant Garcia catches up. Mike, I gotta ask, how did you know they would take the bait? Russo stops, looks at him. I did not know. I guessed. That is a hell of a guess. My father taught me something. If you want someone to do something, make it look easy. Make it look like their idea. Then step back and let them commit. Garcia laughs. Your old man taught you that for construction? For everything. That evening, in the officers' club, the story spreads. Slow Mike climbed into a dive. Slow Mike baited 5 aces. Slow Mike got 2 kills and saved the flight. The nickname does not go away, but the tone changes. It is no longer mockery. It is something else. Respect. Acknowledgement. The kind of reputation that gets built one decision at a time. 3 days later, a Luftwaffe intelligence report is intercepted and translated. It mentions an engagement near Kassel on October 7th. It notes the loss of 2 experienced pilots from Jagerschwader 53. It includes a line that catches the attention of Allied intelligence officers. Enemy pilot employed unusual climb tactic, possibly intentional deception. Recommend increased caution when engaging lone aircraft at altitude. The report is circulated quietly. No fanfare, no headlines, but it confirms what Russo already knew. The enemy learned. They adapted. They would be more careful next time. Russo flies 31 more missions before the war in Europe ends. He is credited with 7 confirmed kills and 4 probables. He is promoted to captain. He receives the Distinguished Flying Cross and the Air Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters. He does not talk about the missions much. When people ask about the climb tactic, he shrugs. I just did not want to die that day. After the war, Russo returns to Boston. He takes over his father's construction company. He builds schools, apartment buildings, a hospital. He marries a nurse he met at a USO dance. They have 4 children. He dies in 1998, age 78, surrounded by family. His obituary mentions his service as a fighter pilot. It does not mention the maneuver. It does not mention the 5 aces, or the slow climb, or the calculated gamble at 22,000 feet. But in fighter tactics courses, the principle endures. Bait is only effective if it looks vulnerable. Aggression can be exploited. Confidence can be a weakness. The best trap is the one the enemy builds for himself. Russo understood that. He proved it with throttle discipline and patience, and the kind of cold calculation that looks like hesitation until it becomes brilliance. The pilot they mocked for being too slow turned out to be exactly the right speed. Not for racing, not for showing off, but for thinking 3 moves ahead, for setting traps, for turning enemy instincts against them. And 5 German aces flew into that trap at full throttle, expecting an easy victory, and found something else entirely. If you enjoy real World War II stories, where skill and courage change history, subscribe for more. How slow would you be willing to fly if 5 of the enemy's best pilots were diving on you from above?